Hey everybody, welcome back. We are still here at E3. It's day 3. We're at the PlayStation booth, and we are joined by Yusuf Mapara. Did I say your name right?
Yep.
I know I messed that up last time we spoke, so I just wanted to make sure I got it right. Yusuf Mapara from Switchblade Monkeys. We're talking about Secret Ponchos, which looks like this awesome, like Old West style, kind of 4-player arcade shooter.
8 players.
What's that?
8 players.
8 players. I'm blown away. That's amazing news. Okay, so Secret Ponchos is like Old West arcade style. Why did you guys decide to make this kind of like throwback arcade style game?
We just wanted to make something new. We're big fans of the fighting game genre, and we really loved spaghetti western stuff, and we just thought, what's the best way to fuse spaghetti western and fighting games? And we really thought that maybe the traditional side view of a fighting game wouldn't really take advantage of like weapons and stuff like that. So we threw the camera over top, and then one thing started leading to another, and we ended up with a kind of new genre of fighting games. So it was a very interesting process, and I think the result is it made a unique type of combat game. And there was challenges in making your own type because you don't have something to reference, but it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, it's interesting that you kind of compare this to a fighting game because, I mean, it's definitely like a top-down shooter when you look at it. How are you guys using fighting game influences to work with, balancing it? Hi. What's up, dude? So this is crazy, right? So, I mean, you're making this game, and now a actual, literal, physical manifestation of your character just walked across the stage. What? That's surreal, right?
Yeah, it's so cool. From the beginning sketches of Phantom Poncho to actually seeing a 3D model of it, and Jose Lopez has this crazy 2D drawing style that we didn't even know how to build the stuff in 3D, and then now there's a costume, and it's really exciting.
That's cool. So what other types of characters are there in the game?
We really focus on, instead of having a ton of characters that are just like aesthetically different, we tried to build every character to have a lot of depth and have. So we're only launching with 5 guys,
okay.
but they're hugely different from each other. Like Phantom Poncho, he kind of moves slow and he's got a short range weapon, but then he has a bunch of burst movements, so he can kind of glide in, take a shot, glide out.
Like he just glided through our shot here.
Exactly. And he's got a bullwhip, and he can use, because everyone else moves faster, so he can actually, he's like a predator. He can wound them from a distance. Then they start moving slow, then he can move in for the kill, or he can disarm them with his whip, and so you kind of play him a few moves in advance. He's tactical. Kid Red is very arcadey. He's got 2 guns, and he's just guns blazing. And a lot of times when people pick Phantom Poncho at the trade on the show floor because he looks cool, they might have trouble because he's a technical character, and we just say pick Kid Red, and because they can just go guns blazing. And we even have the newest character we announced is the Matador, and she doesn't even have a gun, so she has to. We had to kind of invent mechanics on how a Matador would fight gunfighters, and she uses her cape to blind people. She'll impale you with a spear. If you just go head to head, you'll get killed.
Huh.
But if you impale with a spear, they kind of get wounded and move slow, and then she can throw another spear, and then they're like totally wounded. And then she can pull out the sword and try an execution move, and it's an insta kill.
Okay. So there are a lot of different types of play styles in Secret Ponchos. It's not just straight up run around twin stick shooter, we're done. You have a lot of different choices in terms of the way you play the game. And I'm looking at some of this character art that's showing up on the screen here, and man, this game has a really distinct, really cool art style. Tell me more about, I mean, who's doing this art, and where are the inspirations coming from for some of these character designs?
The spaghetti western genre is so full of inspiration. So even though we didn't directly mean to do this, the killer, he reminds me a lot of Lee Van Cleef. And, I think we just draw a lot of inspiration from that genre. And it's so easy. We could really see ourselves making another 10 characters because there's just such a cool genre to pull inspiration from.
Yeah, cool. So it's a old school spaghetti western. I'm sure the music ties into that too, right? When we were in New York for the PlayStation 4 launch event, we were talking to Chris, who is actually doing all the music himself, right?
Yeah, Chris does all the music, and he he'll play the drums and the guitar and that stuff. He can play trumpet, but he usually gets his friends that are Horde players to come in. And Chris has never actually done any video game stuff or computer music before. He's just he's a band musician. And I kind of like that idea that he's going to approach this like he's making an album, not like he's just making, generic game music.
Nice.
And I think the music seems like a very strong point of our game as a result.
Okay, so going back to the gameplay a bit, how hard do you find it is to balance having so many characters on screen, each with their own distinct abilities and weapons and different types of combat?
It's pretty crazy because our game isn't just like teams. We also constructed it so it's fun to play one-on-one. And a lot of times, like what we found in the beginning was we had one-on-one and it wasn't quite there yet. And as soon as we had more players, all of a sudden it became really exciting. And there was this temptation to just go only, because it's just chaotic when everyone's running around, and that's kind of fun in itself. But then what we did was we focused entirely on the one-on-one, making it so you can have a tactical fight. It's not just like a spammy death match. And that's how we ended up building, like, I know what move you're doing, I have a move that can counter that, all those kind of mechanics. And then when we layered on the team stuff, it worked really well. And there's some stuff we haven't even had a chance to test yet, like you were asking about balancing, but different team makeups, it changes the dynamic so much. Like if you have a team of, one time we had a team of all Kid Reds, and it was like this little bee swarm of like little attacks. They're all running around, and so we're learning a lot about the game now from just playing it.
Nice. So when will we be able to play Secret Ponchos on PlayStation 4?
We're working really hard on polishing it. We don't have a official launch date yet, but it is going to be on PlayStation Plus.
Awesome.
And so we're really excited about that because it's going to mean the community is really healthy and the lobbies are full. And we're targeting to get this thing done in this fall. So we just worked so hard on it. We don't want to promise a date in case we need a little bit of time to just kind of clean up some loose ends and make sure it's like a good multiplayer game that you can keep playing for months and months and months.
Yeah, awesome. And I think that I will be playing it for months and months and months. It looks like a blast. So that's Secret Ponchos coming.